Hi everyone, this is Heather from Nerdy Crafts by Heather, and in my last video I told you a little bit about when I started cross-stitching. Like I said, my mom taught me when I was little. I did some really small projects, some bookmarks and things and stuff, but then once I got into like high school and stuff, I didn't touch it anymore. But once I graduated in my early 20s, I decided to pick it back up again, and you might hear my dog clicking her nails again. She's super cute, but she's also very needy. That's why she wants to be in here with me. But anyways, when I started back up, my mom didn't really want to cross stitch much anymore. So luckily, she gave me her stash of all her floss, which is a pretty big collection that she has slowly gotten over the years, and also had some of her friends give to her and everything. And we went yard selling. Because I didn't have much money at the time, and so I found a lot of cross stitch magazines at yard sales. A lot. And yeah, hold on. Put some there. So as you can see, I have a lot, and this isn't actually even all of them. I do actually have some more. They're put away. These are the ones that I could just get to easily. So I've decided that maybe I'll share some of them with you. That we could do some flip throughs, check them out, because a lot of them are older. Some of these probably from the 80s. Not entirely sure, but we do have a lot. I would say the majority of them are probably from the 90s. But yeah, let's flip the camera around and let's do some flip throughs. Okay, so for this first one, this is just a very small pattern. This is, I've got some like wedding themed ones. This is from 1989. I believe you can see that. And this is by Cross My Heart ink. So yeah, this is a very, very old one. Everything inside is black and white. And yeah, they've got all the different sizes and the colors and everything. So some pretty standard vintage patterns. Oh, we got another colored picture of, you can see some of the stitches here. None of these are really anything that I would be interested in doing. So probably going to end up donating this one. Probably the majority of these I'm going to end up donating at some point. Once I kind of go through all of them. And then here's some of the instructions on the back and everything. So yeah, that was the first one. This next one is Dog Breeds. It's by Stephanie Seabrook. Let's see. Oh, it's got a bunch of pictures of all of them on the back. Let's see. This is from 1985. There's some more pictures of all the dogs, and it has it listed by breed, which is really nice. Got some instructions here. Lots of actually very detailed instructions. Wow, I am honestly very surprised. I feel like this is the most detailed cross-stitch instructions I have ever seen. Okay, so here's the patterns, and alright, so this is a very, very old patterns. If you look closely, I'll try to do some zoom in shots of it. These are actually hand drawn in, the symbols and everything, and you'll see that in a lot of older patterns. They didn't actually have everything ready to print. So yeah, that's actually, it's really kind of cool, but also oh my gosh, the time that had to take for them to draw it out. We've gotten very spoiled with all of our technology and cross-stitch programs and stuff now. So yeah, got a lot of different breeds and stuff. I am surprised that part of it is in color. Some of the older patterns that I have looked at is all black and white. So they at least do have some kind of, it's kind of like pinkish reddish color involved in it. So I guess that was a step up for 1985. Yeah, just a bunch of different little dogs here, and then here. Oh, this is actually a clock pattern that you could do. Or, yeah, I guess this is printed. The outlines of the dogs made me think the previous owner might have drew this in here, but actually I think it came in here like that. So you could put different dogs around it and have a cute little clock and a checkerboard set, which is really interesting. It's something I've actually never seen done with cross stitch before, but could be interesting to do. It's giving me ideas, which is bad because I already have so many projects and stuff, but you know, doing like the little like chess pieces and maybe like plastic canvas and stuff. That's an idea. Somebody take me up on it so I don't do it. And here's some alphabets and stuff. Here's some more pictures of the dogs. And yeah. So that one is really cute. Let's see. So this is a bookmark collection. This one, I have not done any from this, but this is like what I used to do. These patterns used to be everywhere. So I got this one. It was originally from Walmart for $1.78. I got it for 50 cents, or maybe even less. This is from 1986, and it's got some really cute patterns on it, and they are all in one thing. So it is a color pattern, which was nice, especially considering the age when this one came out. But yeah, it's all in one little folder. Some very simple instructions on the back. And yeah, so that one is really cute. Let's see. Which one should I grab next? Ooh, this one looks good. So Stony Creek has done a lot of really, really nice cross-stitch patterns. There are several that I've seen that I would really like to do. And they have published like a lot of them, like this house. I love all the details and stuff. That's one of the reasons why I like my dragon so much, is I love the little details and everything. Let's see on the back. Yeah, so this is, just says it's book 120. Let's see if it's got a day on it. Oh, it has a conversion chart. This is really nice. It's got Anchor, DMC, and JMP coats. Obviously everybody uses DMC. A lot of people use Anchor. JMP coats, I'm not even sure if that's still a company anymore. I really don't know. Something I would have to look into. It's not one I haven't seen in a while. So this is from 94. There is a date up there, and majority of it is in black and white, but there is some of that pinkish color as well. Seems to be like a common color that they used back then and stuff. So lots of colors in these stitches, and a lot of detailed back stitching as well. One thing I have noticed in like older stitches and stuff is a lot of the back stitching was very blocky. In a lot of the newer patterns, a lot of the back stitching will be diagonal. It won't completely cover the stitches and stuff. And I've noticed that in a lot of the older ones, it is very like you just follow the stitches around. So it's a really interesting way to see how cross stitch has evolved throughout the years. So yeah. Oh, and here is some more color shots. Make it back in frame. Yeah, so these are nice. Probably that one would be the only one that I would want to stitch out of this. That one is really pretty as well. So this one might end up in my keep pile. This magazine's a little dirty. Whoever had this before obviously stitched this one. because there is marks and checkpoints and stuff, and writing on it, and the pages are very worn. So this one has definitely had some use to it. So, let's see. This is a Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine from '95. It has got a really cute box of chocolates that I think is super adorable. So yeah, let's see. Okay, they had a series with some little bags that had each day of the month on it and a flower, which is really cute. Okay, so they had the first 4 months in here with instructions, super nice. A heart with, I think they actually added some beads in there. I think it's got some beads in it. Yes, it has some 2.5mm beads. So kind of cute little wreath. Okay, and here is the candy showing it. Super cute. I think that is a very cute pattern. What is this? It shows interlaced cross stitch. I'm not exactly sure what part that is for. It's probably some part of one of the candies. Oh, that one up there has it, which I've never done that before, so that is that would be a first for me if I ever did that pattern. Don't know if I will or not, and my backlog is already too big. So let's see, here's a sampler. I am not a big fan of samplers myself. I don't really see the point in them, but that's just me. I know a lot of people really like the samplers and stuff, but never really been my thing. Got some cute bears. This apparently was a series as well that they had also released the other ones in. Got a family tree, which is really cute. So I like the interlocking hearts down there at the bottom. Oh, and these are also in here. So these were for a baby mobile, however you say it, stitch. So that's these here. And there is the family tree. And it's also got some specialty stitches down here. Here's another sampler and a cross, which is made with some beads and stuff. Yeah, something. I feel like in the magazines they have a lot of like different things. This is the sampler on the last page, and then I just have the end pages, and then where you can order patterns. I used to love looking at these. Never did order any patterns from this. I doubt they still do that anymore. I haven't gotten any cross stitch magazines in a really long time. But I always used to love like looking at the very backs to see the bigger cross stitches that you would have to like actually order the pattern and stuff. So yeah, and that was Cross Stitch and Country Crafts from January, February of 1995. This one, these are some jar lids, which used to be a very popular thing to cross stitch. So they got some cute little bears and cat and stuff. You're So Special, that one's really cute. Let's see on the back. There's actually quite a few. This is just a very small little book. So this actually has quite a few patterns in it. So yeah, you can see them all there. They're all colored, which is really nice. This was from 1990. Does say on there. So yeah. a bunch of them there. Here's another one. My mom was really big into the carousel horses, like really, really big. We had quite a few carousel horses and stuff, so she did have a lot of cross-stitch patterns as well. So this one is most likely from her. This is from 1988, so is quite an old one. Got some very, very basic instructions over here. Not much. And this is also a completely hand-drawn one. I will try to do some close-ups on this because it would be a challenge to do one of these. For me, I've gotten very spoiled. Like I said, I normally use my tablet. I use Pattern Keeper, and I also have the Saga. Haven't used it quite as much. Don't have as many patterns that will go into that program, but I love being able to mark the stitches digitally and be able to see which ones I've stitched and which ones I haven't. And looking at these patterns kind of stresses me out a little bit now, because I have gotten so spoiled. So yeah, this one is really, really interesting, because they are also very big patterns as well, and all of these symbols are hand drawn and then like scanned and copied and stuff. So yeah, it's this is a very unique pattern. Here's some information about the horses that these were styled after, which I think is really cool. I like a little bit of background on them and everything. Make sure you guys can see. Yeah, this is these are really, really cool. Awesome. So yeah, that is, the back has pictures of all of them that are included in there, and this is from 1988. I don't remember if I said that or not. Oh. This one is just cross stitch. This is from April of '93. I think she is very, very pretty. I'm a huge fan of like fairies and dragons and just kind of like fantasy in general. So you'll see I kind of lean more towards styles like that. So this is a pretty old, well-used magazine. It's a lot of these have been really well worn. So here is a baby announcement. You can kind of have the date and weight and all that and stuff. So I like that it's yellow, which you could easily substitute that for other colors and stuff, but I like that it's yellow and not just pink and blue. Here's some more baby things as well, and some more kind of kid themed cross stitches. Oh. This is a group of cross stitchers from Scotland, which is really cool. Probably really neat, interesting stories here. This is a sampler Afghan that was being done. A lot of people put a lot of work into these Afghans, and I never really understood it because I would not want my cross stitch getting worn. Like, I want everything framed and not touched for the most part. I do have a few biscornus and stuff that I do use, but I expect them to kind of wear out. But if I work so hard and put so much time into something this big, it's getting framed. I do not want to spend that much time on something and then it just get worn out. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And these are the patterns for the bears. And oh, someone must have done the baby one because they have highlighted it. Something I would do with patterns. I normally, when I used to use paper patterns, I would try to scan them or make a copy of them, so I wouldn't ruin the original. So that way, if I ever stitched them again or anything, it wouldn't be like this. But you know, that's fine. I totally get using a highlighter because I would want to make sure I don't mess up anything. So, this is a wreath, which I don't remember seeing shown, unless I overlooked it, which is a possibility. Or maybe they haven't shown it yet. Let's just keep going, we'll see. Here is a golfing themed one, for better or for worse. That's kind of cute. Says, this one is blue flowers. I also, oh, photos on 53, so we haven't got to this one yet. Here's some advertisements and stuff where you could order. Oh, here is the Lily Maiden, who is on the cover. Lots of colors here. And also they do have DMC, the JMP coats, and anchor colors, which is really, really nice. I do wish more patterns did that nowadays. I feel like a lot of people don't do that anymore. They just include DMC and kind of expect you to do it yourself. So I think that's really nice. And this is a very busy pattern. Oh man, I believe this is also handwritten as well, which is surprising because most of the ones in the magazines were not. They were printed. At least the ones that I've seen so far. But where it is so backstitch heavy, it is really hard to see. So I'm probably going to skip on this pattern. Probably not one I'm going to do. Like I really like having my backstitch separate. And I know a lot of the magazines, they didn't do that, at least back then. Don't know if they do now. I'm gonna have to get some more modern magazines and look through them. So we got some flamingos here. Those are really cute. Oh, looks like we got some hot air balloons. Oh, yes, and some sailboats. So those are really cute. I love all the colors and stuff. So yeah, that's really nice. That's the sailboat one. For a project that takes 100 hours, it might be worth 5 minutes of your time to find the best floss. That's very true. I don't use anchor though. I use DMC. I don't think I have any anchor at all. I do know that a lot of people like using anchor floss, especially the black. They use that to replace the DMC black. It's something I need to look into. I heard it has better coverage, so I might try to do that next time I go to the store. Here's some more of the baby patterns from earlier. Oh, here's the Morning Glory wreath. It's got some cute little butterflies on there. And some blue flowers, which is also really nice. It's a very big piece, actually. Bigger than I thought that it would be. This one. Okay. It was a little hard to read that. I thought that was an H, not an A. So I have a lot of the cross-stitch alphabets and stuff. It is kind of hard to read. So here's the back. A lot of advertisements in the back of these, along with some of the bigger patterns and stuff. Her dress is very pretty. Oh, fantasy designs. See, this is my stuff right here. Oh my gosh. That dragon is huge. Yeah, these are really cool. Some wildlife designs. A lot of animals and stuff. Sorry if I'm getting it out of frame. I'll try to get better at this. And yeah, so that's there. You can see a lot of them that are in this. Okay, let's do one more for today. We're gonna look at this one. This is just cross stitch. And let's see if it says, there's the same advertisement for Anchor. Not sure when this one is. I have not seen a date yet on it. And then here's an advertisement for DMC. Let's see. The Renaissance collection. Okay, so this, they have done some patterns of some famous artworks like the Mona Lisa, the girl with the pearl earring. I recognize those. A few others here. Oh wow, so this is actually people asking for cross-stitch patterns. Like the first one says, I'm looking for designs with chimney sweeps, thank you. And it actually has their address, which probably shouldn't show, so don't look. But, but that's really interesting. This column is offered for the purpose of locating unusual, hard to find, or out of print charts. Try to check with your local shop for the availability before you post it on here. And yeah, so I'm probably gonna have this blurred out. But yeah, this one says I'm looking for the pattern called Bare Elegance by Gloria Steele, Volume 1. It's been discontinued. That's actually really neat. Definitely something you can't really do today. Most people would probably just trade online and stuff, but really interesting. Okay, got a Wedding Memories Afghan. So some wedding things. See, this is about 94, so this was at least around then. Here's a house sampler. I cannot read that. I don't know if that is I know most samplers do have the alphabet, but that actually says something. I don't know what it says. It is kind of too hard to read. A bunch of specialty stitches in that one. Some floral designs. Floral designs were very, very popular back then. And they do have the DMC, J&P coats, and Anchor colors for this pattern at least. Oh, it's very nice. This is called Pennsylvania Dutch Heart. Got some clownfish. Those are actually kind of really cute. Definitely an older style, but they're kind of so ugly they're cute. Kind of thing. There's some more fish. So this is, I've seen these before. This is how to stitch your house. It kind of gives you like the basic plans so you can kind of stylize your own house and cross stitch it. It's got a bunch of different windows and everything, different like roof sizes and stuff, so you can kind of piece it together. I think it's kind of neat. Not something I would do, but I like that they do have the basics. I like the bay window and stuff. So this is a bunch of flowers and stuff. I would not do it on a seat. Like I said earlier, I don't want my stitches to be worn out, and that definitely would. But still really cool. And it actually has all the flowers like labeled, which I find very interesting, that they have it labeled on the chart itself. So it's got the daisy there, wild rose, so kind of interesting. Let's see, advertisements. No more tangled floss pockets. Let's see. Oh, stands. I really need to get a good stand. I have not ever had one. I always cross stitch holding my Q-snap in hand. I would love to have one of these at some point. So, advertisements. Some big cross stitches. That is huge. It's a huge Pegasus. This is a design measures 17 1/4 inches by 20 inches, and it was only $6 for that pattern, which is very, very cheap. And then the one right next to it is a sampler kit, which is $34, which it does include all the floss and everything as well. So you do have to take that in consideration. A lot of these, I saw that, and that one in the last one as well. So this must have been around the same time as the last magazine was put out. It's a cute Victorian angel. I think she's really pretty. Got some seed packets, which are super cute. I think that would look cute in like a kitchen or something. And some clothes that they were stitched on. Love the 90s style. Like that is, oh, very 90s. Cute little carousel, something my mom would have loved back then. And there's the dragon with the castle again from the last one. And oh my gosh, I remember doing this to my hair. I remember wrapping it. Yeah, me and my friends used to do that. That was good times. Good. Okay, so here's some close-ups on the I think it was called like Maiden Louis or something. So you can kind of see where it is all handwritten and drawn in all these symbols. Yeah, like I said, this is a very backstitch heavy piece as well, so it is kind of hard to read, especially like here. It's kind of hard to tell like what symbols are what, especially the half stitches and stuff. Yeah. And here is some up close of the carousel horses. This one is hand drawn in, and it is very, very difficult to see some of the stitches, some of the symbols. Oh, focus, there we go. And yeah. I have a ton more cross-stitch magazines to go through because we've just barely touched them. So if you do like this video, hit the like button, please subscribe, and check me out on the next one. Thanks!